Hello, guys. It is your boy, Olivia Pope in the streets, Adina Howard in the sheets. I know it has been a while since I came to you um, hosting the boardroom, but I thought today was the perfect time to update you on how I'm going on this journey of working through depression and getting through depression and just trying to find myself and rebrand myself. I feel like I'm a brand new person. Um, been trying to do this update video for a while. This update episode for a while, I should say. Um, I've just been either overwhelmed or just been putting it off, and I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that I put it off for as long as I did because I felt like I had some more growth to endure. And boy, was I right. Think one of the last episodes we filmed, I think episode 8, I think it was called Deep Conversations on the Boardroom podcast, um, kind of told some people about told my co-hosts who I'm really close with that didn't know um, some of my backstory and why I do the things I do. And it's a really good and deep episode. Just talks about my experience with child abuse, sexual abuse, and just how I felt like I just was sad and unhappy, and I was going through the process of therapy. I was in the process of therapy, and I just wanted, for me, I don't know if I wanted to be faster, but I just wanted to be done with it because I felt like, and I still do, that it has taken up so much of my life that I wished I did therapy when I was a kid. I wish that I was the ability to know how powerful therapy is for me and for a person and what it can do for your life. I really wish that I got this in elementary school. My life probably would have took a different drastic step than it did. I think that I stopped myself from living because of the things that I went through. And I had to, that episode and the things that go through that went through it, and it was something that one of my friends CC says in the video that helps me finally get clarity onto my situation, and it helped me look at it in a different lens, and it allowed me to let go of that 31 years of anger, depression, uh just sadness, having to fake my feelings, just not knowing how to be a human because I've had to fake it for so long. I finally let that go, and I feel like it kind of allowed me to finally start to sprout and to find out the things that I want to do in my life and how important it is for me to do it. So, which brings me now to just what, let me just fill you in what's been going on. Um, just get you caught up. I end up moving jobs. I finally got a new position from that under that other principal and made some change. So I got a new position. Um, so I have two more. Well, I was originally given two campuses. Both of the caseloads were like, say, the 40 together, excuse me. And I was at a campus that had 60 and was counting because I was in the middle of testing students. To now watching watching over 4 campuses because of everything that just people being pregnant, and I'm watching over campuses. My supervisor believes in me. Sorry, my supervisor believes in me more, in my ability to do the job. Not believe in me more, but she believes in my ability. And that has a lot to do with my mentor. My mentor has helped me a lot, being comfortable taking on 4 campuses. So, so things have been absolutely busy. And then I started grad school. I got into graduate school. I don't know if I said that on my podcast. I don't necessarily listen to the ones by myself. So if I told you, sorry. And I'm telling you again, but I got into graduate school at Texas Tech for our EDD in educational leadership. Really love the program, but things have just not since December 31st when we had that December 30th when we had that episode upload, and I let so much go on December 31st. It has been a lot of like growing up that I in compartments of my life that was stifled um, because of that depression and stuff that kind of held me back. um, I was allowed to finally, my body, my mind, my spirit, my soul is all in link finally, which is, I feel like it's always been in link, but it was always muddy and it took one piece longer than the next piece to, merge to grow. And I feel like they're all growing together. We're all on the path, but I've had to go through a lot of like growing things. God has given me some little growing tasks that I've been doing the last couple of weeks, and I had a wonderful journey yesterday, and this week really truly just let push me to finally start living who I want to be. And I am probably about 95% sure that I'm probably going. I know for a fact. Let me say this: the current district that I work in, I will not be working in next year. I do not necessarily want to um, give up education. So if things don't go the way that I want them to go this year, the things that I'm applying to, because I have three avenues that I can choose. I got one avenue I truly, I got two avenues I really want, but one I really want for myself. I think if I get use this avenue, I can easily do all the avenues that I want to do in my life. I think education kind of was holding me back, and I think it was a security blanket for me because I loved it, and I love aspiring kids, especially kids of color, but I love aspiring all kids. If I had a school full of white kids, I'm going to do my best to make sure that they are great. I just have a lot for my kind because I know how education brought me to who I was. So I really like to focus on urban kids, but I love all children. No matter the color, can be an alien from outer space. He gonna come learn too. But it's just like this last week just reminded me that life is short and you could easily die in a second. And if you just ain't, and let's say this, the world is ending. The world is ending. If you're a person that followed the faith, and I don't say myself as a Christian, I have a relationship with God. That's it. I'm not a Christian. But you know, by reading the book of Revelations and you just seeing the things unfold, that people truly just don't care about the betterment of anybody else. They're greedy. These people are greedy. I've never seen so much greed in my life, and just watching. And I'm gonna take you on a journey to really further explain it more. But the world is in it, is the reason I said that, and I go into it. But I don't want the world to end at 30. Like I thought, I thought coming out of this depression at on December 31st that I would have the opportunity to live 60, 70 years. That might not be the case for me. I might die tomorrow. And not to say that I have not done nothing with my life, but I have not done nothing for me. Like I haven't fully invested in something that I wanted to do as a kid that was stifled from me, or something that I have grown to love. I love education, but I found out this week that they truly just don't care about bettering people or situations. It's a number. To um, we're a number to these people, and these kids are as well. It's all about a bottom line and what we can do for them, not what they can do for us. And it really truly sucks that is that way. But education is not. I don't feel like it's what where I'm at currently in my position and where I'm at in life. I just don't see it being the way that it was when I was a kid. I think it's moved totally from that. And I have to inspire I can inspire kids in a different way, doing something different, and I can reach more kids that way from me staying in one small area. I don't feel right now that um I don't feel like right now that where I'm currently placed is going to allow me to do that. So I and I need to know when to leave, and this is the time. Now that doesn't mean that in August that I won't be at somebody's school. It just won't be within this district. If things don't work out the way that I have rolling, then yeah, I'm definitely gonna stay at education. I'm not gonna hate it. I'm gonna do my best to shake this off, this feeling of disrespect, this feeling of I don't know if it's despair, um, I just of just not being uneasy. I've never felt this way about a position, and I think um, uh, I just think that people just don't care. People are about greed, and the people just don't care about what you're going through. And I I do, and I care too much, and I do it in a way where I stifle other people's growth, and then I am 32 and haven't lived life and dealt with my own issues. It took me to 31 to deal with my own issues. Shouldn't have took me to 31. I should have dealt with that at 18, but I was too worried about trying to help someone else. And I don't think it's a bad thing, but when you constantly help someone else, they never get to learn. You stifle their growth. You too worried about them, and you stifle your own growth and your own opportunities to grow. And I'm truly at that stage now that I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to live. So if today or tomorrow is my last day, I can say that I lived for myself for a day, but I did. And I have to 100% put all of this energy into some things that I feel that's going to better me. Absolutely love what I've applied to do. I hope that I get the opportunity to not only interview, but let them know that I am what you need and do the things that I need to do. Now, if if that's not where I end up going, I don't get to do it, then I'm gonna use my another avenue. But I am what someone needs to spark change in the world in a positive way on a grander scale. I don't think that, and really truly, I just want to continue to inspire and let little black boys and little black girls and little Mexican girls and little aliens or whoever they are, little chickens, nuggets, whatever the case may be, would inspire them that they can be whatever they want to be, regardless of what your current situation is. You have to, you're gonna have to go through some things, but you can come out. And I refuse to do that. But let me get into why I feel the way I feel. This week we had a storm down in Texas. Some of you, if you're in Texas, or if you're around that coast, Texas is not used to winter storms at all. I love the snow. I love cold. That's just my life. I do love it, but Texas is hot. I grew up in Texas. I've always been in Texas. I've never had the opportunity to live in another state yet, but that's coming. It just never took the chance and walked on faith and did something new. I've always tried to do a cookie cutter, like not really just living, just getting by basically for so long. And I feel like um that whatever. So we had a winter storm. I'm sorry. I was starting rambling. We had a winter storm this week. Texas is not built for it. Let's just say our facilities are not built for it. Our homes are not built for it. The apartment building that I live in, the loft on in the downtown area are not built for it. So caused a lot of issues. And then the motherfuckers thought it was okay to play with people's lives and turn off the electricity in certain parts of the state. Then when you did that, you couldn't turn it on. But in some places, rich places in Dallas and etiquette and other areas around the state were given power and never lost power once. But we were rolling. Nobody, all of us didn't roll power. So you turned the power off in certain areas. So as you know, I live with my two puppies. It's just me. I um it's just me. So the store came in. So let's just I'm gonna just put everything together. Saturday, we know the storm is coming in for a week. I've had stuff in the house. I just needed some little small things, milk, a little cereal, some bread. I really fell in love with this certain bread that I've been eating lately. Um, Really good bread. By Nature's Own. I don't know what it is. Got the little white stuff at the top, a little yeast. I don't know what the hell it's called, but it's good as hell. You put it in the oven, it's life. So I've been so I just want to get the basic things. And every grocery store I went to was filled, like I knew, because as people do, they overreact, act like they're crazy when things like this happen instead of being smart. Because when COVID happened, they was there here buying all the motherfucking paper towels, the toilet paper, and the cleaning supplies. All the food off the shelves. When COVID was first announced, that we had to go to a shutdown. Nobody ever said we never gonna have no food again. Nobody ever said anything like that. But that's what people did. They bought every last thing. So normal people that normally shop couldn't go buy paper towels if we were out of paper towels because motherfuckers bought 8, 9, 10, 12 bags of things of paper towels and cleaning supplies. Being greedy. That's called greed. Money is not, I don't believe money is the root of all evil. I really believe it's greed. Greed is the root of all evil. It truly is. I think for a, so let me state, yeah, so they did all that dumb stuff. So what do they do when a winter storm is coming? They buy up all the fucking food. I went to a neighborhood Walmart where there were literally lines down the aisles to the ends of the aisles. It started at the beginning of the aisles to get to a register. And some man walked by and said, "Is the world end?" I said, "They act like it, but you can't take the food with you. Why be greedy and buy every last thing?" It was a woman in the store, I kid you not, that had 3 baskets full of fucking food to the top. What are you doing? If you're not going out to feed the homeless to make sure that they're okay, it's no reason why you need all of that. If you're not helping someone else, and she wasn't, and I'm not judging her, she wasn't though. 3 baskets full of food. Couldn't find bread, couldn't find shit. This is the kind of shit we had to deal with in Texas. So Sunday comes, it snows. It was real pretty, real nice. Monday morning at 3 a.m., my electricity turns off. So electricity turns off, and had to deal with that for, no, that was Monday at 3 o'clock in the morning. I was assuming that they were gonna roll back on. No, 36 hours later, which would have been Tuesday afternoon, the lights would turn back on. I have 2 dogs. I had to sleep in my house without a what's the name because I don't have anywhere else to go. It's me. Now, let me say this: I have other places to go, but the roads were so bad. And let me say that the closest person to me basically said, "You got dogs, you need to stay at home," without saying the words, and that's okay. Um, and that's totally okay. I'm still gonna be, you know, I don't hold nothing against anybody no more because what I've learned is that either I'm gonna deal with the issue that I have with someone or I'm gonna let it go because they're carrying that shit for 30 years and marking off every time somebody pisses me off. It doesn't do me any, it doesn't do well by me because I'm carrying my hurt that they did to me and they don't know and most of the time don't care. So why do I? So either I'm gonna address it, I'm gonna tell you why you pissed me the fuck off, or I'm gonna go about my business. So that's what I did. I went on about my business. I didn't address it. I just went on because what's the point of me arguing and fighting if you told me who you truly are? I don't want you to change because I cuss your ass out. You should already be doing the right thing in the beginning. So if you're not gonna do the right thing, I'm not gonna hold that against you. That's just who you are. I cannot allow you to change who I am. So So I sat in this house for Monday morning into about Tuesday, about 24 hours. We sat in the house. Like, I got at the house and took them walking and stuff. So we got somewhat of energy in us, but it was tiring. So we were in the single digits. We were negative. And so about 24 hours of this, I was done. So at 3 o'clock Tuesday morning, I woke up at 3 in the morning. Was like, we got to get out this house because I'm gonna die. I literally felt like I was about to die because I wasn't keeping myself warm. I was making sure my dogs were okay, and that's what you're supposed to do. If you have kids, you take care of your kids. They didn't ask to be here, and they weren't welcomed at another house that was closest to me. Now, people that live, 30, 40 minutes out definitely opened their doors after Tuesday when I said it out loud. But the people that I said it out loud to laughed it off, and didn't say anything. So I had to work through that. But I was like, shit, I'm not doing this no more. It's dark, it's cold. I live in Laos. They are cemented on the inside, so the cold air just sits in the house. It has nowhere to escape to because the the hallways are cement. So it's cold every fucking way. I put trash outside, y'all. I kid you not, the trash was fucking frozen. That's how fucking cold it was inside and outside the fucking house. So at 3 o'clock in the morning, I was like, oh no. So I got in the car, tried to look for see if it was something to eat because I hadn't eaten because all the food I bought had to be cooked. Because that was what we were preparing for. We didn't prepare for the electric to go off. We didn't prepare for that. So I drove around in the ice for a little bit. About 3 o'clock in the morning, about 3:15. Drove around, see if anything was open. Everything was closed by then. And the only thing that was open was Jack in the Box. I don't eat that anyway. I really was just trying to find them something apples, something for them to eat other than dog food because they were over the dog food because it was cold, so they needed something else. Um, couldn't find anything. Ended up parking in front of my apartments. Took them walking, let them use the restroom a couple times, and then sat in front of my apartments and let them sleep in the car with the car on, with the heat on. Then moved into my apartment garage and did it just to add another layer of safety. But and I wasn't the only one. So let me say this, and this is not a why me session. This is I'm about to give my life session. So I don't want the why me's because I know it was homeless people without homes. It was it's so many different situations where people were dying and things like that because of the cold, and it's older people with pride westernized. So I don't want this to be a why me session. I'm just telling you how I feel. So don't think that I am not aware that somebody had it worse off than me. I 100% knew that. I 100% know that. But I'm going to be selfish for the first time in my life and focus on me and what I want out of life. So that happened. Went to a friend's house Tuesday morning. She convinced me to come over. One of the people that's on the podcast convinced me to come over to her house. Once I got there, an hour later, the electric come on. I'm like, shit, I'm about to go home. I ain't took no bath. I ain't ate. I'm dirty. I want to be in my own space. I want to warm my house up. All of this. Cool. Came home. It was starting to melt. It was a burger place open by me, a really good burger place. Small business. Didn't lose their electricity um, because we were the only four apartment people, apartment buildings that lost electricity. Everybody else didn't. The businesses around us didn't. If you weren't directly connected to our apartment building, you didn't lose electricity. So they had food. So I went and got some food, got the dogs some patties, ate, let the dogs eat. The house was warming up. Shit, we over here jamming. I'm like, hell yeah, I got to clean up, do this. My house was a mess because I was packing and stuff like that in the middle of the night, just, trying to get the fuck out of there because it was cold. So, go take them to go use the restroom, come back in the house, fucking house is flooded. The apartment on the fifth floor above me has uh pipe has busted and all the water up there had to go somewhere else. So it went to every apartment under it. Fourth, third, and mine on the second. I had water coming out the fucking sockets. Let alone I stay in an apartment, I pay $1,700 a month. I pay a fucking mortgage. And I already didn't like the apartment because I lived in the apartment in another building on the fifth floor, and it had mold in it, and they basically told me in so many little words that shit, it ain't nothing we could do. Deal with it. So I took it upon myself, say, let me go move to a different apartment. I'll pay the fee. I always put myself last. Hey, I'll pay the fee. Don't call act the food tray because you don't want them to make you seem like you an angry black man. Just pay, don't cause a fool. Just talk to them nicely. Just don't even bring it up. Just say you want to get into a bigger spot. Your puppies are bigger. Did that, and this happened too. Not doing a third time. I've given you 2 times to give me the best quality living possible, and you haven't. Shit been falling since I moved into this motherfucker, into both buildings. But this one has been worse, and I pay $1,700 a month. You won't be getting no money from me. So in the meantime, nobody has called. Nobody has sent the email. They sent the email saying, "Hey, the service, the lights are out." They did this on Monday. They did this on Monday evening or afternoon. Let me say afternoon. We know the lights are out. We looking into what's going on. I say it was probably about 1 or 2 in the afternoon. They finally sent the email. With our lights had already been out for almost uh 12 hours at this point. The office supposed to open at 9. You send a notice saying that you weren't gonna work today. You couldn't send a notice and say, "Hey, we know that things are going on in this apartment. We're so sorry. We're not there to provide any kind of support. We don't know what we can do, but we do feel for you guys because you're sitting in your whole house." Didn't do shit. Then my job sent emails telling us if you ain't working remotely, you need to use your personal time during the fucking. This is a panoramic. We're not only going through a panoramic, we're going through a panoramic. Then also, we're going through a fucking winter storm, and you ain't said shit to our well being, and you don't care about what we going through. You don't care that people are without lights, people pipes are busted, people are families are dying because they're trying to stay warm. These people are getting sicker. Y'all don't give a fuck. Y'all telling us if we can't work remotely, we need to be working. We need to use personal time. Who gonna do that? Because I'm not using a fucking thing, and I'm not working. So that was an email that was sent twice that we were supposed to be working on letterhead, and if not, you need to use your personal time. So that's going on. This apartment shit going on. They can give a fuck of what's going on. Oh, I didn't tell you that once the water started, my alarms were going off for 3 whole hours. I had to call back after 3 hours of them not coming in and resetting my alarms. So I had to listen to a noise that went on for every second it beat. Every 2 seconds it beat for 3 hours. My mind was so fucking tired of hearing the noise. My mind just shut off for an hour. Then I went to sleep. That's how the fuck tired I am of this bullshit. So we're dealing with that. Blah 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 blah. And let's just sum it up. People don't give a fuck about you. The job don't. These highest rents we paying, they don't give a fuck. And God was like, when you gonna start living? You could have died the other day. When you gonna live for you? When you gonna do you? I don't have to do them bad. I don't have to go waste my mind on karma anymore. I don't have to waste my mind on being happy. So when you gonna live? So that's what I leave you with today. When you gonna live? I ain't really go into it because I really just don't feel like wasting your time. Because when what the fuck we gonna live, y'all? When are you gonna do something for you? When are you gonna follow your dream that you want and not be scared of getting a no and say, you know what, I tried, they told me no, or I tried, they told me no, and I kept going and I got that yes. Whatever the way, whatever the case, however you want to do it, do it. Make sure it's legal. Make sure you're not putting yourself and others at harm. But live, y'all. Because the shit, at the end of the day, these motherfuckers don't care if we brown, blue, purple, or green. Because they're going to replace you. They're going to find somebody to find you to replace your job. They're going to act like they care. Then they're going to post your position 30 seconds later. We could have died in these apartments. I promise you, they would have moved us, our bodies out these apartments, child. Cleaned these apartments real cute. Had a little couple of little Ghostbusters come in, get the ghost out, the little demons or whatever. And they would have moved somebody the fuck else in this spot. So when we gonna live? This is your boy, Olivia Pope in the streets. Adina Howard in the sheets. Bye.